thank you for tuning into Kentucky Good Vibes. I'm your host, DISHAYNA Perkins, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing Miss Dr. Lauren Flaherty, PhD, out of Louisville, Kentucky. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm ready for a Friday night
All right, all right. Any plans?
date night.
Date night. I feel that. I feel that. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I know that you're based in Lexington, so don't hold it against me, but I'm a graduate of U of L. I
Okay.
went there, yeah, I went there for undergrad, and some master's programs, and then for my doctorate as well. Right now I'm in private practice and I'm completing my fellowship in clinical neuropsychology. And I'm a mom and a wife and anything else you want to know, you have to ask and be specific because that's my summary.
Okay. Okay. So give us a brief description about the program that you're seeking to promote with Kentucky Good Vibes tonight.
Yeah, so when I was in training, in the actual classes, still taking classes part of it, one of the assignments we had was to develop a treatment that did not exist. And with me going into neuropsych, I was specializing more in like brain disorders, brain disease, and I just happened to fall into specializing in dementia and cognitive impairment, which is just what it sounds like, impairment. And so during that time, that's kind of what I wanted to look at for treatments because there really aren't any,
Okay.
when people are diagnosed with cognitive impairment. And it really doesn't even matter like what the cause of it is. They kind of assume that it's inevitable that they will develop dementia and that things are just going to get worse. And it's sort of like a death sentence. And the research actually suggested to me when I was going through all of it, because we're really big on research, that doesn't have to be the case. Now, when it comes to Alzheimer's, that's progressive. It will get worse, but there are things you can do to delay that progression. But for things like vascular dementia or vascular cognitive impairment, it doesn't have to get worse. It can remain stable. And for different forms of cognitive impairment, say we're talking about like post-COVID brain fog or brain injury or whatever it may be, the research shows that almost 40% of people can actually revert back to like the normal aging changes that you would see. So I developed a treatment plan and then I had so many people asking me for help and I was like, I'm only one person. So I figured everybody has a phone, right? So I decided to condense it all into an app so that it would be available for people, whether it's kids that have parents and they're noticing changes in their parents, or healthcare professionals, people that are concerned about themselves, even young people that are noticing, the things aren't working the way that they did 5 years ago.
Yes.
Anybody that's interested in brain health, that's what I created it for. But specifically right now, we're doing this initiative that's targeting the African American community, because if you look at future projections, um, everybody's in trouble, right? I mean, the whole population's in trouble, but there are certain groups that are more at risk, and African Americans are definitely up there. So suggesting that, depending on the state, African Americans are twice as likely to develop these issues as their white counterparts. So I decided, if you want to actually make a difference, you start with the people who are going to need it most.
Okay. Okay. So what's the app called?
Friend, but it's spelled Phrend. And so Thren, friend, in Greek, I'm Greek. So
Hmm.
in Greek means mind or brain. And then
Hmm.
the D, obviously, at the end of it stands for doctor. And then there's obviously the PhD
Yes.
component. And then it sounds like friend. So that's what it's called. And that's what we're promoting.
Okay. So looking on the app, say, so I get on my phone and look at the app, what what's there that I can look forward to?
Okay, so I would say it's pretty unique in a couple of different ways. So one thing that's really unique about it is if you're concerned about a family member or even yourself, there's a screener that's on there that is psychometrically validated, which means it's designed and it's been proven in the research to be effective
Okay.
for somebody to fill out themselves or for a loved one. So it doesn't have to be administered by a healthcare professional. So that kind of like eliminates that middleman for people maybe who live 2 hours away from their doctor or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, and so it has that screener. That's really helpful. It has brain exercises that are specifically designed to target 5 out of the 6 major cognitive domains. I didn't include the sixth domain because that's a socialization piece, and I thought that would be disingenuous to try to pretend like I could provide that on an app. Um, but the other 5 domains are on there, and you kind of have to use all of them at one time. However, the social piece is covered under like these daily homework assignments, and I mean, there's months worth of them that are designed to engage the body and the mind at the same time. And a lot of that does have to do with socializing because people really underestimate how important that is, which is why COVID really, really took, yeah, it caused a lot of problems for people. Um, it also has supplement and dietary recommendations on there, all backed by research. So I don't claim to be a dietitian or, a homeopathic practitioner or anything. So anything I put on there is from research. And a lot of it, your doctors, your primary care docs, your neurologists, they're probably they're not going to necessarily be too familiar with it because some of it's mainstream. And then a lot of it, even though there's research to back it up, is not mainstream. And then, there's also just general education about the brain, what cognitive impairment even means, resources, where to go if you're having problems, direction, basically, for people who don't know where to go next.
So with the app, is it user friendly for Android and Apple, or is it just targeted mainly for a specific phone?
Yeah, so it's user friendly for sure, but only right now it's available for download only on iPhones. And so we are holding a Q&A March 2nd and then a walk hopefully May 25th and then a gala this summer. And all proceeds from those events will go towards um, putting the software that I've already developed for the iPhone, but
Hmm.
extending it to the Android and
Okay.
then also creating a bi-weekly video blog where you go to my website and it has like the option to email me questions. And I've been getting a lot of questions and I can't just ignore them. And some of them are very heartbreaking. So my team and I decided we have to do a bi-weekly, blog or vlog or whatever they call it.
Hmm.
Um, so it'll go towards that, answering people's questions, even maybe having like one-on-one sessions, things like that. So the goal is whatever profits are received to further the cause and keep
Yes.
going. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So with all that said, so you have events coming up with that. You've already launched the app. So with all
Yes.
the events that you have coming up, what's some plans with the events? You said the gala.
Yeah.
Um, so is that going to be like a benefit dinner and, just raising money to get everything in place?
Yeah, so I mean, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. So the first event is going to be a Q&A, and that's March
Mhm.
2nd, downtown Louisville. If you
Okay.
go to the Facebook page, which is just friend, PHREND, then you can have all the information there. And it's not just going to be me talking because this initiative, I'm not, silly. I'm not blind to the fact that this initiative is targeting African Americans. I'm not African American. So we're going to have a panel, and I think it's going to consist of 6 people, including me, and everybody on the panel they'll all be people of color, and then at least two of them are going to be healthcare professionals and experts that can talk about what they've seen And then the other speakers on the panel are going to be able to sort of talk about the way that they've seen it affect their community and their families and things like that. And I'll be there obviously to pitch in about what the cause was, why I started it, things like that. But I really just kind of want to, lend a voice to people who are going to be able to relate to the cause more, and they have some sort of expertise in the field. And so that's going to be really important because it's going to be engaging the community. And then after that, in the spring, I'm aiming for May 25th, and it'll be either at Cherokee Park or Iroquois Park. That's what we're looking at right now. And it's going to be a walk, definitely a fundraiser. You'll have to register, to participate. You'll have the option to donate. Of course, we're taking donations because we want to further the cause. And then as for the gala, that will be this summer. I'm looking at July right now, and trying to settle down on, venue spaces and things like that. But it'll be sort of like a two-tiered approach. One of the purposes is simply to bring awareness to it, to extend resources to people who need it, to get the word out there, to get that buzz and that word of mouth. And yes, the other portion of it will be collecting donations, and yeah, moving forward with it.
Okay, okay. Well, thank you for all that information, and I look forward to following up with you soon. And with that said, can you give everybody your contact information of how to reach you or how to get on the website to check it out?
Absolutely. Yeah. So you can go, the Facebook page again is PHREND. That's the name of the app. And then the website is friendllc.com. So it's PHRENDLLC.com. And if you want to email, it's the same name, friendllc@gmail.com. So all of it is, yeah, all of it's pretty similar.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for that information. And like I said, once again, I look forward to following up with you and have a blessed night.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. Enjoy your weekend.
You too, and enjoy your dinner.
I will, for sure.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
All right.